Jamal, Kendra Sunderland, Mia Makova, Riley Reed, Audit Alley, Young Kim, Adam Smith, Daniel, Dr. D, Susana Retes, Julian Alexander.
City Attorney, I would like to request interpreter during my general public comment. And then I would like to speak on item 11, 12, 13, and the general public comment.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
11. 当初是你要分开的，分开就分开的，现在又要用真爱把我哄回来。爱情不是你想买，想买就能买的，让我睁开，让我明白，放手你的爱。Yes, let's go, homie. 出卖你的爱，背着你离开的，看到痛苦的你，我的眼泪也掉下来。出卖你的爱，背了良心债，就算付出再多感情，再买不回来。当初是我又分开，后来才明白，现在又用我的真爱把你哄回来。我明白是我错了的，爱情像你说的，它不是买卖，就算千金来买都不卖。当初是你要分开，分开就分开，现在又要用真爱把我哄回来。爱情不是你想买，想买就能买，让我睁开，让我明白，放手你的爱，狠心把我来伤害，就那么一怀，现在又要用真爱把我哄回来。Number 12。难道你真的忘了吗？当初你说想有个家，如今离开我，怎么了？是否你心里只有一个他？如果没有他，你还爱我吗？我很想知道你的真心话，一句话了却我心中的牵挂，爱与不爱都算是回答。如果没有他，你还爱我吗？我真的在意你给的回答，请不要再让我泪滴如雨下，在爱与痛的边缘挣扎。如果没有他，你还爱我吗？Item number 13。我嫉妒你的爱气势如虹，像个人气高居不下的天后。你要的不是我，只是一种虚荣。有人疼才显得多么出众。我陷入盲目狂恋的宽容，成全了你万众宠爱的天后。若爱只剩诱惑，只剩彼此忍受，别再互相折磨。我嫉妒你的爱气势如虹，像个人气高居不下的天后。
General public comment.
Nací en México. Todos los miembros de mi familia son inmigrantes ilegales en la calle Figueroa.
I was born in Mexico, and all of my family members live in Figueroa Street.
Mr. City Attorney, why he's translating why my clock did not stop?
Please continue. Go ahead.
Todos los miembros de mi familia son prostitutas en la calle Figueroa.
All of my family members are prostitutes on Figueroa Street.
Nos encanta servir a la gente de la calle Figueroa.
We love to service the people on Figueroa Street.
Quiero hablar sobre la seguridad en la calle Figueroa.
I want to speak about the security on Figueroa Street.
Necesitamos un ambiente de trabajo seguro en la calle Figueroa.
We need a safe working environment on Figueroa Street.
La gente de Los Ángeles necesita prostitutas seguras y saludables.
Los Angeles County needs safe and healthy prostitutes.
Solicito más policía en la calle Figueroa.
I am requesting more police on Figueroa Street.
Solicito más trabajadores municipales en la calle Figueroa.
I'm requesting more municipal workers on Figueroa Street.
Solicito más condones en la calle Figueroa.
I am requesting more condoms on Figueroa Street.
Mr. City Attorney, my clock did
So,
not stop for
Speaker,
15 seconds.
your time has expired. Next speaker.
I don't know how I can follow that.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning, Adam Smith, Los Angeles Community Action Network, general public comment, and number 8.
So you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general.
Should I do the
Please
item
begin with the
first,
item.
then?
Yes, please.
Okay. Number 8, as now just council member, Paul Krikorian transitions off the council and the presidency, and while he is celebrated in this room today, I wanted to offer a little bit about him for this commemoration as someone who has been in this room for a while now. After KDL was caught on tape, along with colleagues, saying and laughing along with horrifically anti-black comments, an obvious public uproar happened. Many in this room had strong statements, and today I'll just read Krikorian's, and I quote, "Apologies will not be nearly enough to undo the damage that the city has suffered. The only way we can begin to heal as a city is for Mr. De Leon to take responsibility for his actions, accept the consequences, and step down." Well, KDL has not stepped down and in fact has been welcomed back into this space and into the open arms of Paul Krikorian, getting put on the Homelessness and Housing Committee, for example. This is just indicative of the ways that anti-blackness in this council is overlooked and passed and
General
allowed to
public
happen.
comment?
General comment, good morning. Since Council President Harris Dawson isn't here, I won't say congrats. And while it's a new chapter at City Hall, at City Council, I'd like to speak about what isn't new, the constant and violent sweeps of houseless residents of this city, and particularly of Skid Row here in District 14. While tall tales of locking arms and housing offers sets a narrative in the evening news and on official city social media accounts, we see the impact daily of an overburdened shelter system with no real path to permanent housing and the constant daily violent sweeps that are legitimized by these dangerous narratives that leave the large majority of our houseless neighbors outside and unsafe. LA CAN is submitting a letter and some other documents today showing the difficulties for houseless folks living in Skid Row, unrepresented by your anti-black colleague Kevin, and the constant confusing violence of sweeps that seek to destroy, rather than represent some fairy tale of service provision. This week alone, 3 different maps on 3 different sweep notices to do the violent work of making it incredibly confusing to houseless folks trying to survive. These are traps, not maps. Can I hand this to somebody? Anybody listening?
Hello, I'm Daniel, general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, first I'd like to ask, I'm Daniel from LA CAN. First I'd like to ask how on earth Kevin De Leon wound up in front of a camera talking about civil rights despite the civil rights abuses going on in his district every day in Skid Row. This guy loves cameras so much when I go home I make sure I turn off all mine in case he just shows up. So regarding sweeps, in an ongoing lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles for destroying people's property, a federal judge ruled that the city doctored documents regarding sweeps. Every day across Los Angeles, the Department of Sanitation destroys houseless people's belongings while 6 people are dying every day, and they lie about it in federal court. Why aren't there more trash cans? Why is there no regular trash pickup? Why are there only a handful of public restrooms in Skid Row when public health assessment said the need was hundreds? Where are the hand washing stations with water and soap? Why does the city government continue to punish poor people for being poor and using its immense resources on policing and sweeps? I'd also like to observe...
So, Speaker, your time has expired. Speaker, your time has expired. We need to move on to the next speaker. So at this point, please leave the podium. You're delaying our meeting. This is your first and only warning. Speaker, you've received a warning for disrupting this meeting. You've been given your time to speak. Please leave the podium.
Dr. D, 11 and public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item number 11 and 1 minute for public comment. Please begin with the item.
Okay, Yaroslavsky is here, but Park is not representing 11. And you know what? Park's name on 11 is a disgrace. I live in Park's district. I spent 5 days, 2 years ago, February, on Culver Boulevard when she evicted all of the people who were settled there in this same thing of it was supposed to be inside safe. Those people who have lived years, some of them, in the west area of LA, most were sent to South Central hotels, motels, and never got housing. Never got housing. Again, their property was destroyed and they never got housing. And it was St. Joseph Center who was hired by the city and hired by LAHSA to do that work that day, that week. And they were cruel to these people and horrible. Public comment. Today I'm here representing LA Can. Sweeps happen daily on Skid Row. People's property is regularly destroyed and thrown away. LAHSA is nowhere to be found. CD14 with LAPD Central Division officers and sanitation at Kevin Day Leon's back and call target a predominantly Black and houseless population. There are metal signs that supposedly say the schedule of when sweeps happen in Skid Row. City workers arrive at 6th and Town at 3:45 p.m., told people that they had 15 minutes to move, and after 10 minutes began destroying property, including the tents of 2 elderly women, one 75 years old.
Speaker, your time has expired. Next speaker. Speaker, we need you to vacate the podium. Speaker, this is your only formal warning. Please vacate the podium so we can move on to the next speaker.
God bless and thank you. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1. As per point 11, initially, my name is Julian Alexander Makara. In identifying general city purpose funds, utilizing another $70,000 to do exactly what this young lady was advising. My last presentation, I announced that we're allocating funds and doing the same protocols. Big city, we need to do it quick, that I understand, but look at the consequences. Now this far, and I haven't been here long, but $377,000 for Kevin De Leon's community development, there was no information. $200,000 from the general fund for LAPD services and 2 council districts. $70,000 for this, not including point 33 that I'd mentioned, and I don't remember how many thousands that was. That's very expensive. Kevin, cover your mouth if you're gonna yawn, please. So stating that, my general comment. Again, I work with children. I'm very focused. I have hyper focus. I've told you, Kevin, it's very inappropriate to laugh.
General?
Consciously in June, I made the decision to move forward with this effort full time. Via email and phone. Your staff all know me now. To repeat an email I sent to the mayor's office. I've been nearing a year following the city's protocol to receive a response regarding any one of the number of documents I have submitted. 2 Samuel 22:26. To the faithful, show yourself faithful. To those with integrity, show integrity. To those pure, show yourself pure. But to the crooked, show yourself shrewd. At this moment, this delay in receiving a yes or no from the city is causing hardships. Do I continue to have faith in you? Or do I see things for how they are? There are still vacancies for commissioner roles. If you're unwilling to work with me, Ms. Mary Karen Bass, and if this council is unwilling to work with me, I have a wonderful portfolio for an art commissioner, workforce director commissioner. My prudence is prevalent. God bless each one of you, and or respond, please.
Next speaker. Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items first.
Well, nobody called Mr. Batman's name today, so I'm going to speak on these items. Regarding the appeals and objections for building and safety fucking reports, I find it unconstitutional for these fucking non-compliance code of violations that you've erected, you dicks. And inspections costs, I think that item CD1 should be waived the same way that dumb Birria Noodles did with the Mansion of Nation targeting graffiti. That's a nuisance too. Right, you're trying to figure it out, Mr. Consul. But listen, Circle K, you're just a dum-dum too.
So this is not on the agenda. You're welcome to speak to it during general
That was
public
on
comment.
the
This is your
lean.
only
That was
warning.
on the lean.
Please stick
That
to the
was on
agenda.
the
I'm going to
lean.
move you to
That
general.
was on the lean. Oh, look at item number 8, Mr. Harrison Donkey Monkey. Recognizing Councilman Paul Krikorian. I wish he was fucking gone already. And then look at here. In CD5, little Miss Private Yorogolowski's talking about District 5 on housing after she built those illegal fucking UCLA stadiums for baseball. And she also took advantage of the veteran properties. She's a criminal. And LA Housing Department sucks a dick. And look at item number 10, Mr. Circle K Fat Boy. It's talking about a reward. I'm gonna let Batman talk about the rewards because Batman knows about rewards and about Nicole Cuthbert.
Thank you, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know snitches get stitches. And we know when you do a good job, Ramen Noodle cleaned up the mansion graffiti, we recognize it. Noodle Birria Friday is a good thing.
So this is not on the
Now,
agenda.
talking
You have been
about the
warned already,
mayor's-
so I'm going to move you to general
I'm
public comment.
talking
You have
about
1 minute for
the
general. Go
mayor's
ahead.
$50,000 reward, you fucking snitch. I'm talking about the money to pay for someone's death. That's the only time the city reaches out for you people as a public safety issue. Where is Monica? She's a representative of public safety. No, but they called the great, infamous Batman icon to talk about the crimes in Los Angeles. And it's a pitiful fucking city that we find out that you criminals harbor this type of unluxury environment that we don't welcome. And as far as Friday on CD 14, item 12, fuck item 12. There's no such thing as housing development. And as far as item 13, fuck item 13, and fuck you, Sambo's, Uncle Tom's, for doing this shit of business with us. Now into my general public comment.
You are already in your general public comment,
I get 1 minute of non-agenda
and your
public
time has
comment.
expired. If you were listening, you were warned multiple times during your comment on the agenda. I moved you to, you did not abide by those warnings, and I moved you to general. So your time has expired. So please vacate the podium. And for everybody who's listening, including Mr. Herman, if you abide by the rules, Mr. Herman, you need to vacate the podium. This is your first and only formal warning. If you do not comply, you will be subject to ejection pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12. So again, if you abide by the rules, if you stay on topic, and we do try to give you warnings, then you will get your full time.
I believe that closes.
Mr. Chair, that's the last in-person speaker.
Okay, so we will close public comment here in chambers and move to the phones.
All right, I will speak to all items and general public comment.
Good morning. Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
All right, so let's start off with item number 6, that is contract for the Emmy Awards. I hope, a long-term contract, I hope that these Emmys aren't going to result in any sweeps. I hope no unhoused people are going to be displaced for these award ceremonies. We have item 8, that is naming DJ Krikorian, Paul Krikorian, as the Council President Emeritus. A no on this. Council President, or Krikorian's presidency was terrible. Krikorian claimed to be a reform guy, but all he did was enable racism. He didn't solve the problem. He welcomed KDL under the Chamber of Open Arms. He loves KDL so much he chose to sit next to Kevin after he stepped out, finally was forced to resign as council president. He loves Kevin that much. And Kevin needs to resign. All Paul did was just yell, scream at the public every time, and just to protect racism, protect corruption. So no on giving Paul any honorary titles. The only thing Paul should be known as is a racist and corruption enabler. We have speaking of which, item 9 is a motion from Kevin De Leon, the racist and city staffer B, who took bribes in Las Vegas. We have no on anything Kevin De Leon introduces. 10 is reward money for snitches. No on that. Item 11 is homelessness services from Yaroslavsky. I hope this actually gets people into housing and services and isn't just funneling money to your rich friends while all you do is sweeps and furthering the sick unhoused people dying on the streets every day. We have item 12 from Kevin De Leon, hoping to ensure that people can go vote against him and elect Isabel Urado to CD14. We have general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
All right, so last Wednesday, Kevin had a debate with Isabel Urado, and it seemed like Kevin and his supporters continued to be really racist at the debate on Wednesday. So, I'm hearing about, and Kevin claims he's reformed, but yet he's got his racist supporters showing up to yell racist stuff at BLMLA again on Wednesday at the debate, from what I understand. The same. And you know where else that's happened? The hallway outside city council chambers. His racist supporters that he paid to show up when he first returned to the council chamber. So, yeah, Kevin needs to resign. You need to stop enabling his racism. I saw you, for some reason, the Civil Rights Department let him appear at an event. Kevin doesn't care about civil rights. Kevin is anti-black, anti-poor.
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you're unmuted. Which items would you like to speak to? But can you please, before you begin, sorry, it's hard to hear you. Can you please turn down the, I think you might have a device on in the background, but which items?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better. Which items would you like to speak to?
Sorry about that. The item honoring Krikorian and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Thank you, Ro. Thank you very much. Krikorian should not be honored. This really should be honor. I don't know, maybe even the city attorney over Paul Krikorian. Paul Krikorian is very unprofessional. City attorney does a better job staying professional, even when he does things I don't agree with. Paul Krikorian, all he does is serve to make the public upset and pit people against each other. It's pretty gross how he just put on this whole show of decorum while he's up there eating chips and talking about items and stuff. I don't think that's very, whatever the word is, civil, decorum. I don't know. It's fucking disgusting. We're out here starving and dying, and he's up there just snacking, eating his little yogurts and parfaits and chips, and we're over here like, some of us can't even afford to go down to City Hall and get a bag of chips. Okay, thank you. Tomorrow is the Congress of Neighborhoods. If you haven't registered, try to if you can. If not, just drop in. Everyone's going to be there, a lot of people, and there's a big wave of dissent and revolution coming from the neighborhood councils. There's a big attitude of they're tired of the bullshit and it's time to do something about it. So come down there and make noise. If you come down there, you meet me there. LA Valley Gun Club at gmail.com, LA Valley GC@gmail.com, and you get free membership to the Gun Club for life. So come down there and we'll make some noise, If you don't use it, you lose it. And that applies to the First and Second Amendment. Oh, City Attorney, I didn't like when you made those comments about Herman the other day. That wasn't cool. you shouldn't talk like that about a person that speaks in the public, like saying that one person's comment takes away from the others, because that's not really up to you to say that. You know, we don't pay you to do that. So please don't do that again.
Caller, your time has expired. Next caller. Caller, this
Yes,
is...
my name is Daisy, I'm a Spokane
So,
community.
caller,
I'm a
before
Spokane
you hang up on him, really quick, caller, you've done this multiple
Yes.
times, almost every day. This is your first and only formal warning. If you call in again, it will be an additional disruption of this meeting, and you'll be subject to not only removal but also probation under the council rules.
Well,
so
we don't want
please
that,
do
do we,
not
brother?
call in again and disrupt this meeting. Next caller.
Yeah, wow. Daniel Guss.
And which items would you like to speak to?
All items and general public comment.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm starting my clock. So, screw me like Tanya Isagiri did the other day. Item 10, City Council. What the fuck is going on with item 10 today? You're reissuing a reward for an unsolved murder from 2022? Do any city employees in City Hall know that the perp was arrested in January of 2022? He was convicted of murder 2 weeks before Katie Yaroslavsky made this motion and John Lee seconded it. What? What the fuck is going on? It's not an unsolved murder. You got the perp for 2.5 years and he's on his way to prison. That's why this city is so fucked up. You're reissuing a murder reward for a guy who's already been arrested and convicted. If anybody at the Times was
So you've
looking
exhausted
at
your
this,
time on this item. Please move on to another item.
yeah, I'm going to come back to that when I get to general. And you'll see that story and others on danielguss.substack.com. Item number 8. Hey, President Emeritus, why didn't you put this on Wednesday's agenda when you decided to take a leak on public property to name after Krikorian? Because you're squandering enough time then, you're squandering more time now, and you're limiting the public and censoring the public while you literally are forgetting about all this crap that's going on. What the hell's going on? Where's your priorities? And who gives a fuck that he's fucking President Emeritus? Let him call himself that. You're taking staff time and giving this guy who's never held a job in the public sector for the past 20 years? My God, what are you doing to this city? Item number 6. Hey, you know what? Why are you subsidizing? Why are you waiving the fees for the and how much are the fees? Why are you waiving the fees when you're in such debt for these big entities that can afford to pay the fees? Meanwhile, you're ripping off the poor people and you're doing all this crap. You're waiving the fees for the academy. Everything's backwards here. Why are you waiving fees, Mr. Price? And by the way, why is Mr. Price doing any of this stuff? Why is Mr. Price handling this? He's under a 10-count indictment, for Christ's sake. So,
General public comment?
My God, man. No, my God.
Mr. Chair, that's the last speaker.
Okay, so Mr. Guss, can you please, actually I'm going to ask the staffers who are managing the phones right now. Staffers, could you please lower everybody's hands? And Mr. Guss, I believe you said your phone number ends in the last digits 1108. Can you please raise your hand for your 1 minute of general public comment?
Speaker, you can now speak. 1108.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi.
You're unmuted.
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
your 1 minute
yeah.
of, hold on. Mr. Herman, please hold your applause or whatever you're going to do to the end. You were doing it throughout Mr. Guss's public comment, and I can't hear him. So, Mr. Guss, go ahead. Your 1 minute for general starts now.
Yeah. Now, you see, Los Angeles, that's what happens. You expose sheer incompetence every day of the week, and you call in, and somehow, DanielGuss.substack.com gets muted before he makes his general comment, just like the other deputy city attorney did the other day. When you're showing that the LA City Council and nobody in City Hall knows that the victim, the murder victim in item number 10, Brianna Kupfer, you don't even know that it's not an unsolved murder, and you're reissuing unsolved murder rewards. And the day that I publish this exclusively, you silence me? Well, how the hell does that happen, Mr. Grote? How many more lawsuits am I going to file, Mr. Grote? This city council, that's a perfect example. These people don't even know that they're...
All right, we're closing the phone lines and closing public comment on all items.